Greetings everyone, it is me Gigalem, and I honestly want to thank you all for your patience. Apologize for the background noise. I am still editing this as at the time this being uploaded and such. And on top of that, this channel has almost reached 200 subscribers. I've been on this platform for almost 11 years. Anyway, I want to thank you all for your patience and such. So, this year has been a rather hectic one for me, per se. I've been absolutely busy trying to get back into the pace of making content for Mila's and such. And on top of that, well, let's just say I had one of the worst summers ever, and that's a video for another day. I've already stressed this so many times, but yeah. I want to thank a lot of things. I definitely want to thank those who were generous enough to donate to the GoFundMe my mom hosted a good while ago. I want to thank those that were supporting me and trying to keep me sane while I was in this miserable time of not having a home. And quite personally, I honestly just want to be thankful I'm in another home for a good little while. I don't know when I'll be in a more bigger home, if at all, but quite personally, this was in the making for a little while. I did want to do this back in summer, but well, you already know where that went. At the time of this recording, I've recorded 2 Let's Plays, and I should hopefully have them both edited and ready to go by the time this goes up. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the next project. Greetings everyone, it's me Gigalem. It's time to start the next project. Do planes really have to fly over me at this time? Jane, stop this crazy thing! Oh! Welcome to my 100% Let's Play of
Crash Bandicoot 2. Cortex Strikes Back.
How's that for an intro?
Start. Crystals. Of course.
But Dr. Cortex, to reach full power, we need not only your master crystal, but also the remaining 25 slave crystals from the surface. How do you expect to retrieve them when we don't have any Earthbound operatives left?
You fool! Do you think I'm unaware of the situation? If we don't have any friends left on the surface, then we need to find an enemy.
Crash? Crash? Crash! My battery is fried. Make yourself useful, big brother, and bring an extra battery for me.
And we're already in the game. As you can tell, there's a lot of improvements, and to believe that this was built off the same engine as Crash Bandicoot 1. We'll get to that particular bonus episode later. Now, for the time being, I'm going to restrain from talking about Crash 4, but I will talk about it whenever I find it necessary, because if I was talking about Crash 4, I'd probably be complaining a lot, and I don't want to waste time. As you can tell, Crash's model and quite a few things have seen some improvements. Crash's model doesn't look nearly as dopey with that oh goodness, oh gracious face, but rather you can see that Crash is way more expressive and such. There's a lot more new things here. Also, you have the introduction of Coco Bandicoot right here. I'll get to her in a bit. And on top of that, the game is voiced by more than one person. As you can tell, Clancy is voiced by, Cortex is voiced by Clancy Brown. I've already done 2 outtakes on that. I don't want to try it again and such. But, yeah. I am playing probably the original ROM of this. I don't have the version that has the DualShock and such. So I'm not able to show off any of the DualShock features. Yeah, this game had 2 releases, one with and one without the DualShock compatibility. But enough delay. It's time to begin this game. As you can tell, Crash, well, he's got the same kit, but this time his jump is a little bit more heavier. And this time, well, the HUD has been changed a little bit, so the numbers aren't nearly as wide. While I do miss the wider HUD, I do think this is a more effective HUD and such. And on top of that, Crash has a new move to his kit. By holding R1 or, I believe, circle, you can crouch. If you hold crouch and then you press jump, Crash will do a higher jump. But if you're moving while you hold crouch, you do a slide jump. Now in the Japanese version, whenever you spin a Aku crate, you get a voice hint from Aku Aku. And that technique I did, a spin slide, that is a speedrunning technique that can be utilized to its fullest potential. But yeah, there's already some general improvements, and we'll get to more of those improvements in a bit. Now, for the longest time, I used to think Crash Bandicoot was one of my least favorite games for a while, and while I do have some bias towards 1 and 3, a certain game made me more appreciative of Crash 2 and such. More on that later. I mean, at the very least, I'm not getting Crash 4 for at least 60 more Let's Plays. If I can keep the whole every 4th Let's Play thing up with the Crash retrospective. Also, if you try to go past this, well, you can't. Watch this. Yep, Crash teleported while standing up.
Well, well, well. If it isn't Crash Bandicoot, welcome. I apologize for the crude means used to bring you here, but I rather expect a written invitation would have been turned down. I need your help. Surrounding you are a series of 5 doors. Through each door lies a well-hidden crystal. The crystals look like this. Bring me the crystals, Crash. That is all I will say for now. We will speak again.
I don't think the emulator was supposed to skip that last part of the dialogue. I think he was trying to say we will speak again very soon or something. Anyways, on top of new series staples, it says such with the cutscene introducing us to Dr. N.gin, who doesn't have a proper first name. We also have the introduction of a warp room. A warp room is basically the easiest way to get to other stages and such. And on top of that, a load save screen. No need for Tana tokens. But here's another series first, and this is one of the only games to do this. You see that gem slot up there? The very first stage has a colored gem. And if you want to figure out how to get the colored gem on your own, well, you either need a strategy guide, or you need to go through the level again with the box gem already collected to show that the hint of the box is telling you that you need to break no boxes and such. Yeah, to get this color gem, you have to not break a single box. Supposedly, Cortex and Dr. N.brio had a bit of a falling out, and resulted in Dr. Cortex's new assistant, Dr. N.gin. N.brio does still appear in this game, and he's more of a supporting role. He doesn't even get a boss fight. So he decides to form a truce with you. We'll get to that point when we cross it. As you can tell, I can do long jumps with Crash because I can the combination of doing a slide then jump. I always been using the crouch button with the shoulder button R1, or in this case, I believe RB, because I'm playing this with a Series X controller, and this controller is absolutely fantastic. I wish I had it. I wish I had one of those next-gen consoles. But yeah, this D-pad is also fantastic too. To get across this stack of boxes, just jump on this crate and you are in the clear. It doesn't count as broken. Now, what you're supposed to do is beat up a set of creatures down there, but you can skip this part in some way. Like that. Not the most convenient of ways, but it will do. Those turtles come in two varieties. Ones where you can't slide on them, and the others where you can't jump on them. And that's another way of skipping it. Do a slide jump spin, and that's really tricky to do. And then do a belly flop to basically use the extra height to get up there. Also, a crystal. We're supposed to collect these things. But you're probably wondering, what happens if you complete the level without collecting the crystal? Well, I think you'll find the results absolutely hilarious. I mean, if the one cutscene were to go by, well, I think it should show you. Anyways, we get ourselves the blue gem. You can only get this gem through means of not breaking a single box. Oh yeah, and if you spin too many times, well, you're going to hear a different sound telling you to lay off the spins for a while. A bit of a cooldown, if you will. But what happens if Crash doesn't get the crystal? I mean, sure, Crash is dancing because he got a blue gem. But, he's gonna get a message from Cortex.
No, Crash. I said bring me the crystals! Now, get back in there.
Yeah, Cortex gets infuriated. And he has two more messages. So let's get the box gem. Now, to get the... another thing that's an improvement from this game to the last one, and why I understand why people would prefer this game to the first one. You don't need to get all the boxes within a single life. Like, even if you die, it will still count your boxes if you hit a checkpoint. The only times you need to worry about not dying is death routes, or skull routes as they're actually called, and we'll get to those later. But yeah, spin sliding is basically a speedrunning technique, so you don't get the slowdown of the slide. But another move I forgot to mention: if you press circle or R1, you can do a belly flop. You might have seen it earlier when I was skipping the pits. But yeah, that belly flop is also used to unlock paths like this. Sadly, we are not at the age of where the boxes can be broken enough, so that way, well, what I mean is boxes don't give you 2 Wumpa Fruit per bounce. So that's one thing Crash 3 has over Crash 2. I mean, I already like Crash 3 and 1 more than 2, but I like this game a little bit more than I did years ago. But I will say this: I don't think the level design was there just yet. There are some parts of Crash 2 that I just don't like, and I'll get to those points in due time. The music you're listening to is the Skull Route theme for the jungle levels. I might as well mention this right now. Even though I love Crash 1 and Crash 3 more than this game, Crash 2's soundtrack is fantastic. It is one of my favorite soundtracks in the entire franchise. And there are already some pretty good soundtracks out there. I mean, do I need to mention how Wrath of Cortex has a seriously banger soundtrack? Like, it's that good. Like, it doesn't have Josh Mansell in it, but the people who they got did a really good job. Like, they really are ambitious with that game. And we'll get to that game in, like, I don't know, a couple years from now? Depends on when I'm able to capture footage from PlayStation 2. Also, if in case you accidentally had one of those ostriches or flamingos crouch, you can still make it up here with a slide jump spin. Anyway, just do a slide jump and get your next box. Then you need to go back down here, break another box. Didn't mean to break the Wumpa Fruit crate, but whatever. And then just move on. Jump over these guys. You can't spin into them as far as I can tell. And now we have a new addition. You might have saw earlier that we encountered the Nitro Crate. Nitro Crates immediately explode upon touching. Yeah, just touching it with a single Bandicoot paw. Well, bam! You either lose a mask or Crash is playing that didgeridoo in the sky. This is a Nitro Crate detonator. One spin, all the Nitro Crates are gone. However, I will tell you this right now. This isn't Wrath of Cortex or N.gin Trilogy, where upon spinning the Nitro Detonator, any boxes that you left right next to them will also be blown up. This will be important later. I found out that the jank from Crash Bandicoot 1's TNT crates still persist through the Nitro crates of Crash 2. Any boxes that are right next to them when you hit the Nitro Detonator will not be blown up by the Nitro Detonator. I liked calling it the Nitro Switch or something like that, but basically Nitro Detonators get rid of all the Nitro crates within a level, meaning that you're able to get the box gem with ease. And there's your bonus stage. Your bonus stages are now required to get the box gem. However, bonus stages are don't count any death penalties and such. Okay, let's try to get over there again. Like that. That's what you're supposed to do with style. But bonus stages do not count any deaths if you die in there. So any death routes that are on the way, they will not they will not despawn and such. But yeah, bonus stages are definitely required, and they can be pretty tricky. They will definitely get tricky. Anyways, series standard tradition. We have two masks. We're going to get our third one. That means invincibility. However, you do not get a speed boost from the one thing. But guess what? I'm gonna wait here. Like, Crash is invincible and such, but I have a feeling that I'm not going to be able to get that box over there. I mean, maybe with my area of execution, but... Oh, goodness, how did I... this is probably the slowest time I've had playing this game. And, like with the high road, the turtles also turn around if you jump on them. But yeah, that's how you're supposed to get that crate. Basically showing that enemies are also a valid means of getting, getting boxes. So slide jump spin, slide jump spin, and then... it worked earlier, I guess it doesn't want to work now. This is probably not my cleanest playthrough of the game, but I'm just trying to show off everything, so understandably it's going to be a bit slow. Also, if we ignored the crystal a second time, while we do have the box gem, Cortex is still going to scold us for missing the gem. Crystal. Crystal, gem, and Steven. However, if we want to skip straight to the point, you can skip the crash dance by pressing triangle.
No, no, save the world, I need crystals. Crystals! One more time. They look like this. Crystals, Crash! Go back through one of those doors and bring me crystals.
Now, what happens if you miss it a third time? Well, we're going to go back to this level and immediately exit. So upon going to the level, press start, press select.
Look above the doorways. Above each, there is a big crystal-shaped slot. Fill all 5 crystal slots in this warp room by retrieving 1 crystal from each of the 5 areas. Only after we have filled all of the slots in this room can we continue on our quest. This is the last time I will remind you.
And yes, that is the last time he'll remind you. If you did get a crystal, you will not get any of those messages to show off, because the game would assume that, of course, you know how to play the game. So yeah, I'm gonna skip to the crystal, so I'll be back in a moment. Here's the crystal we're supposed to collect. Now that we've collected the crystal, I will see you at the end of the level.
Well done, Crash. I knew I could rely on you. Now listen carefully. These holograms are hard to maintain. During the course of my intellectual pursuits, I have stumbled across a force that threatens to destroy the world. Crystals are the only means of containing it. The fate of the world is at stake. It is imperative, therefore, that you bring them to me.
So yeah, Cortex is, let's just cut the brass tacks. The game is called Cortex Strikes Back. The reason why Crash would ever believe any of what Cortex is saying is because Crash is, well, an idiot. But, let's go with Snow Go. We already spent 20 minutes on one level alone, so I think we need to make up some traction. This was the demo level, if I remember correctly. I'm not expecting to go through this game without dying once. Anyways, yeah, that's a good way of introducing the Nitro Crate. Show it front and center. But because we have 2 masks... Why did I do that? I didn't mean to spin there. Well, so much about the 2 mask thing. Fate tempted. Be careful of those penguins. But yeah, this was the demo level that was shown off. This is this game also shows off some other fundamentals, such as showing off spring crates and such. But this game also introduces one of the worst things about Crash's original debut series. The ice physics. Ice physics are not fun no matter which game you go in. Unless it's Crash Team Racing, where the snow levels can be pretty darn fun. But, as you can tell, we got some very slippery ice. This is a good way of introducing it, and boy, are you going to hate this in the later levels. Believe me, we'll get to that level in due time, if that level's reputation is to go by. One thing I never got to mention with the voice line delivery, Clancy Brown really made Cortex's role work. Like, he could be dark and serious, but also have a good means of making you laugh too. I mean, I love the face that Cortex makes when you've missed the crystal the first time, but you can tell that Cortex is getting easily annoyed that Crash is missing the one thing he sent to create. And on top of that, this was before playable Coco was considered, so it's not like Crash's sister would have gathered the crystals. On top of that, she wouldn't gather the crystals for Cortex anyway. Why did I do that? I thought I was on top of it. Anyways, that gem right there. You can get it early, but it's rather tricky to do. You need to spin on top of this metal crate, and then do a slide jump spin followed up with a belly flop. Not like that. Ugh. Ugh. Crash. Oi. Ugh. Oh, why did I do that? The pros of trying to show off everything. Why is it always this level that I mess up in? What? I did it again. I'm unable to do this. I know I'm not going to be able to do this in Let's Play. If I need to get footage from another person to show it off, I will credit them. I almost did it once. Basically, what you need to do is slide jump, then spin to get extra height from the jump, then belly flop so your hitbox actually grabs the crate. Also, yeah, activation crates are returned from Crash 1. Some bonus stage, like, unlike Crash 3, bonus stages aren't just like special stage aren't all special stage platforms. Like, there are special state or bonus stage platforms, but in Crash 2, it's more varied, so yeah. And on top of that, this was before the bonus themes had a set, like, unique theme for the levels themselves. But these bonus themes are a bit more varied because this series didn't have a like pre-established theme to go off of for the bonus stage and such. But bonus stages are really good for racking up lives, and if you're really good at games like these, well, you can definitely hit 99 lives in no time. I already lost 2 lives, sadly, but I don't know. I don't think I'll ever get to 99 lives in Crash 2 without use of an exploit. Anyways, Nitro Detonator. Spin that. All the Nitro crates are gone. Anyway. Those penguins spin. Those spins hurt. And as you can tell, you don't want to be in them. They'd be in the way of those spins. But, yeah. The snow levels are a new level trope in Crash Bandicoot. I think this might be a leftover from the E3 build with how Crash is somehow 2 inches above the crates. No one caught that. Wow. Now, I remember one playthrough, like, I remember when Plum was recording this for Melting Pot, the crystal did not load the pink the pink texturing and such, so it was without its texturing for a moment. Anyways, you probably will see this activation crate upon this view, but you won't see it upon getting to it. All you need to do is just break this box. Then after the box is broken, hold X to break the activation crate above it, and there you go. 2 boxes spawned right for you. Anyways, this particular crate right here, there is a speedrunning glitch with it. Upon getting 200 bounces, using spins to crouch immediately upon reaching the ground, and then just jumping on these enemies these seals repeatedly for a good while, you can do an overflow and trick the game into giving you all the crystals and all the gems needed for 100%. You can get 200% this way by doubling their values and such. It's a very weird trick to do, but there's a good reason why it's caused another category to show up in the speedrunning boards for Crash Bandicoot 2. That same glitch does exist in Crash Bandicoot 3, but the max you can get, as far as I'm aware, is 183%, or 187. However, we will get a different cutscene this time because we gathered a gem after gathering a crystal. So Crash gets a gem, Crash gets a crystal, Crash does the Crash dance because he just got the box gem. And he's getting a call from someone.
So, you were helping Cortex gather crystals, yet you have acquired a gem. Interesting. Well, Crash, know this. As long as you are allied with Cortex, you are my sworn enemy, and I will do anything in my power to stop you. If the fate of the world is truly your concern, you must gather the gems, not the crystals. If you obtain all 42 gems, I can use them to focus a laser. A laser beam that will destroy Cortex and the space station he's created. Until then, I must use my forces to stop you from gathering.
I think the emulator's a little too like fast because I noticed some lip desyncing. I'll have to figure that out a little bit later. But yeah, there are 42 gems in this game. However, there was originally going to be 43. There is a unused gem slot, and on top of that, in the credit sequence or the 100% ending, there are actually 43 gems in that laser beam. However, because I think 3 levels will be good for today, because we already spent a lot of time talking and such, let's introduce another level trope, and believe me, I have a feeling that this is going to be the levels that are going to basically eat up all my lives. Don't be surprised if I restart this level so many times, but this is... Okay, let's start that again. There's another gem trope in this game, and there's only so few of them. There is a time trial gem, and we need to beat the clock, we need to speed the heck up. And we also need to make sure we do not hit any checkpoint crates. It's more lenient in N.gin Trilogy because the game will let you continue gathering, it will let you continue on the time trial gem if you only broke the very first checkpoint crate and such. Don't break any checkpoint crates. Just... Okay, I didn't know I was able to do that. Gather the crystal. Oops. Okay, I think that was my own hubris and misjudgment. You wanna know what sucks too? In my practice recording sessions, I did it on my first try. How? At the very least, these recording sessions are actually picking up because I'm not going to be able to do that again because that is some recording curse nonsense. But yeah, these levels were my biggest source of game overs. But yeah, you need to rush through these, and these levels aren't made with rushing in mind. Gather the crystal. Okay, I am not going to question how I did that right there because that is a really tricky jump. But yeah, you need to dash over these, watch out for the mines, and of course, and with that, well, we get the gem. Now, if the timer ran out before you got the gem will just basically fly away. So now that we've gotten the gem, fortunately it took only 3 times, as opposed to basically my entire livestock, we can just go and play the level casually now, because not only do we have the color gem needed for the box gem, but we also have the time trial gem out of the way. I believe you can skip that part with just a slide jump. And believe me, we're not at the one part where we can show off the secret exit yet. That'll come later. Now, you cannot have invincibility during these areas. If you do have 2 Aku masks before starting the next area, they will not give you invincibility. They will automatically diminish. But yeah. Upon getting off here, we're going to be spinning away some man-eating fly traps and get to the bonus stage. This bonus stage is more reminiscent of the bonus stages in Crash Bandicoot 1 because of the way it looks. And boy, if you thought the Crash Bandicoot 1 bonus stages, specifically the Tana ones, looked gorgeous, at least for PlayStation 1 standards, boy, you haven't seen nothing yet. Naughty Dog were basically tech geniuses in their department and such, and this is a culmination of that. These stages look gorgeous for PlayStation 1 standards, and I still think they look good for the time. In fact, speaking of Crash 1, this game still takes place on the Wumpa Islands. Only one area is now snowy, I'm not sure how, but you can see over to your right, especially if I pan it this way, that the ruins are still there. Now, whenever you clear a bonus stage, if you die and not hit a checkpoint, even if you're set back to the last checkpoint and such, the game will still count that bonus stage as cleared, and any boxes in it as broken. So basically, you get a soft checkpoint. If you die in it, well, you get respawned right next to the bonus stage, but after clearing it and getting all the boxes for it, at least in the original, you will not have to be forced to go through it again. But the blue gem path. This is our very first color gem path, and it's a really difficult one. Yeah. There are some things that they felt they had to iron out. No, you don't. Be careful when doing the body slam here. Because it's right next to what's my least favorite thing to do. Jumping over boxes over death. There we go. Did it on my first try. Hit the checkpoint. Jump over nitro crates. And I hate jumping over nitro crates and such. Ugh. You don't know how nervous that makes me. Anyways. Ignore these jumps for now because there's a activation crate somewhere. Oh! Oh! Hit that. And go back. Oh! Now all the boxes that were initially outlined are now filled in. So get all the boxes and start doing some tricks. This is one. Okay. Calm down. I'm not going to talk about Crash Bandicoot 4 just yet. As much as I want to grieve on that, that's not going to be for a very long time. Like, hopefully it doesn't take me way too many years to get to that game, because there are some Crash games that I can't wait to get to in this retrospective. Okay, that area over there. In N.gin Trilogy, if you have 100% of the game, Fake Crush is going to be over there. If you do somehow manage to get over there, there's no collision in that area. But yeah, now with that done, we can just proceed with the level like normal. Break that box. Now, as soon as you get on this hippo, immediately jump off of it, get to the other hippo, hit this checkpoint, and then immediately get on the jet board. We're going to be breaking more boxes, we're going to be dashing through whirlpools, and you obviously want to be careful around mines. Don't do what I just did, but if you can do it comfortably, then go ahead and do it. Don't try this at home, kids. Anyway, just basically, if you want to break all boxes, just take things slow and be careful for those mines, because we're not done with these stages yet. Nope. With a total of 74 gems, boxes. My dyslexia is not working today. My vernacular. You get some very suggestive imagery. And with that, we gathered 2 more gems and a crystal. So I think that'll be the last gem or level for this part. We've already gone to almost 40 minutes for part 1, and goodness gracious that I explain a lot. But yeah, I think we do have another message showing up from another character.
3 crystals. Not bad. I see you are getting the hang of it. I need to conserve power. I will communicate with you again after you retrieve the 5th crystal.
Okay, the emulator actually got the entire message right. Anyways, yeah, the load save screen. Let's actually use it. Of course, the game is going to load the save memory card. We're going to save it. Screw it. Let's be unoriginal. Banuka, of course. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. We've already gone over 40 minutes for part 1, goodness. Anyway, if you want to donate, there are links in the description below. Honestly, any donation helps at a time like this. I'll talk about certain topics I wasn't able to mention in part 1. But yeah, you can do that if you so wish. And until then, if you want to subscribe and keep up with the series, well, all you have to do is hit that button, hit the bell, and then you'll be on your way. But you don't have to if you don't want to. Anyways, I shall bid you guys adieu.